what it means when Christian woman does a public display of something that's sexually provocative or inspires lust in other people. What does that mean? That means a lot. And of course it ruffles a lot of feathers. And I know this, unfortunately, because of my own experience. So 4 years ago, I started this fitness journey with the toughest coach in the world, in my book. And I achieved what I wanted. I achieved my goal of being the most fit I've ever been. And it had a downside and an upside. You know, besides another success, you know, that I really felt led to learn how to track my macronutrients and how to be fit and strong. I learned how to do that, but I also did a lot of things wrong. So in my excitement and in my new fitness journey, you know, and it was a spiritual walk too, that I had no idea that I was entering into a very big lesson. It was a very big test, and I fell down very hard. And I started a business, a fitness business, and in attempting to reach women, which really was my motive. And so, I mean, one reason for Christian women doing that, maybe they're getting attention from other men, but that was not my intention. So my intention was to help the women I was already coaching and here in town and reach millions of women all over the world. Sorry about the slurping. I'm watching my friend's Frenchie right now, and she's drinking water. So that was my intention. And when God convicts you and puts something on your heart to do something or to do it, oh my God. And so I did that. I found a way to reach millions of people around the world on social media. And that is my intention. There's a lot of bad stuff on social media too. And even though that wasn't my intention, it was not the right thing to do. And it was a super, super bad error in neglect. Not even judgment, it was neglect. I didn't think. I didn't take into account that of my husband's feelings, you know, and I didn't think I had to because I was lashing out. That doesn't matter. That's a whole nother story. But I was in the wrong. And so, but I still am very proud of my content and the woman that it created in me. Super proud of the women that I get to be today. But that was a very, very bad error in neglecting my home, my marriage, and acting out. And that's one of my defects of character. When I hurt very badly, I tend to hurt back. And not just hurt back a little bit, but hurt back. My hurt backs are 10 times stronger. And so I feel really badly that hurt my husband in the midst of that, and that these videos I did, content that I did, although I had clothing on very little, and it was very provocative and evoked lust in other men, which was not good at all. It was very wrong. And so the reason Christian women do that, it could be to get the wrong attention, or they could be like me and was just stumbling to find another route to get their confidence, to reach other women, or they're just simply not thinking about who they're affecting. And that happens because we are sheep in this world. Jesus is our shepherd, and sheep, as I was taught by my pastor, can be very stupid. We have very poor eyesight, very poor depth perception. And I did not see, honestly, the harm that I was doing. Otherwise, I would not have done some of the videos that I did. Although I was in the rules and guidelines, of Instagram, I was not inside the rules and the guidelines of God's word and protecting my marriage. Whoa, 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 hold on. What are you doing? Okay, all good. So, those are some reasons that Christian women might fall into that trap. As Christian women, I know that it is not for us to provoke people to fail. And that's what it does when we are sexually, when we display publicly provocative clothes or act or look provocative, it causes men to fail or people to fail and fall into lust or think things that are inappropriate. And we're not supposed to do that as Christian women. In the 3D world, in the regular world, it is actually, it's still, God uses everything for good. So when you trigger someone by your authenticity, well, it forces them to grow. Example, when even though I was being my authentic self and had proper motives, but was wrong in my marriage, it also caused other men to fail, I'm sure. And even though I blocked it, even though I rejected it, I'm still, other men were caused them to have lustful thoughts or things, and it means it's theirs to deal with. It means that it brings their defect up to the surface, and they have to clean it. They have to deal with it. It forces people to grow. It shows you who people are. Like even if a naked man or put himself in front of me, or the best thing, like I know that I would not fall because of who I am. But by putting something in front of someone, you find out who they really are. You find out who you really are by putting yourself in front of stuff. So we can't grow unless we're subjected to this stuff. That's what I'm saying. So in order to grow, you have to know. So if you're just going to live in a box and in a shell, you're not going to learn, you're not going to grow. You might not hurt anybody, but you're not going to learn and you're not going to grow either. So I highly regret, that thing that happened, but I also am grateful for the lesson because I'm a better, more sharpened person. I'm going to be a better person from here on out because of that lesson. So I'm called to be a woman of God, and I'm going to be a better woman of God because of that trial. So the dog's snorting, sorry. Love you guys.